Call American Tax Relief right now for your second chance. 1-800-217-7965. That's 1-800-217-7965. American Tax Relief.
This is a public notice. If you've won or settled a lawsuit and now have a structured settlement or annuity, you don't have to wait years and years to receive your money. You can get a lump sum payment. It's your money, and you don't have to wait to get it. You can have it sooner, so you can pay your mortgage, your credit cards, or medical bills. Whatever you want or need it for. It's your money. You should have it, and Peachtree can help you get it. Peachtree Settlement Funding can get you your money in one lump sum, so you don't have to miss another mortgage payment, so you can pay your medical bills, so you can make major purchases you may need. Call Peachtree Settlement Funding now for information on how to get your money in one lump sum. Call 877-219-3105. That's 877-219-3105. It's time to get your money when you need it, not years from now. Call 877-219-3105 to find out how to get your future money. 877-219-3105. Life doesn't wait. Why should you?
Welcome back here to the What's Cooking Today program, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, and entertainment program. I'm Michael Horn. That is Paul Stern. Joining us here on the big broadcast, we mentioned the lovely Stephanie Honig is going to be here talking about great wines from Napa Valley. But first, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to San Diego, where the San Diego Zoo ambassador, Rick Schwartz, is standing by. Rick, welcome to the show here today.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's good to have you here. What does a San Diego Zoo ambassador do?
I do a lot, and it's actually a lot of fun. I don't take many days off, but it involves a lot of travel across the nation and across the globe, representing the zoo. And then also, when I'm not doing all the traveling, I'm doing keeper work, taking care of the animals that I work with, and talking to people at the zoo about those animals. It's a great, great job.
So you're also the senior animal keeper at the San Diego Zoo. So you kind of have a job that a lot of us wish we could have for a day. You ever have one of those wishes where you could be like something for a day and wonder what it's like after zoo hours? What is it like after we all leave from going to a place like the San Diego Zoo, and then it's just you and the animals there? What happens?
Well, honestly, some of my favorite times are early in the morning. Zookeepers in general, we tend to get to work about 6 a.m., and sometimes as an ambassador work, I'm required to go a lot earlier even, and it's so quiet and so peaceful. I've seen more sunrises at the zoo than I could possibly count, and it's just really a unique experience to walk through such a wonderful part of San Diego, and it's so rich in history and, you know, all the animals and the diversity that we have there. It's just beautiful.
Do you also go on a tour, like when we see zookeepers or whatever on TV shows and things, like, you know, the old Tonight Show has the zoo animals on? Do you do that kind of a thing, too, and bring the animals with you?
Yeah,
or?
Certainly, yeah.
All right.
Yes,
so
we do travel. Actually, back in February, I was in New York with some animals, and we did some TV shows there and had some fun with that and talked to people about what's going on with these species in the wild. And, you know, we have some great animals that we've raised at the zoo that do very well with traveling and going around kind of representing, being ambassadors themselves, if you will, representing their wild counterparts. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Now, I know you wanted to talk to us a little bit about polar bears today. So what's going on? Does the San Diego Zoo have polar bears?
Yes, we have 3 very beautiful, amazing polar bears. I've had the pleasure of working with them a little bit here and there, and they're wonderful animals. We built our polar bear plunge exhibit back in 1996, and the goal there was to create a polar bear exhibit that would be the best in animal care and offering the bears everything they would possibly need. And to this day, that still holds true with that exhibit. This last winter, though, this last few months, we did close it down on the guest side because we did need to update and revamp our guest experience. Back in '96, that goal of having that animal exhibit to show people what a summertime tundra looks like was built just for that. Unfortunately, just 13, 14 years later now, we see there are some drastic changes happening in the polar bear's habitat in the wild, and we felt that it was our responsibility as a conservation organization to bring that information forward to our guests. You know, we want our guests to have fun. We want them to learn something, and should they be moved enough to get involved in conservation, we also want to offer them the different tools that they can use and do in their own home to make a difference.
So in other words, you're saying the polar bear's habitat is changing in the wild, and we as lovers of the zoo and polar bears can do something at home to kind of help them out. What can we do?
Well, certainly, there's no doubt. We've heard in the news, there's a lot going on with climate change, and, there are a large amount of scientists that say it is induced and because of human activity, and there's a handful that say it's not. Regardless, we can definitely cite the fact that the habitat is changing for the bears, and we at home can make small adjustments to our daily lives, and together as a group, that makes a very large difference in what we're doing and how we use things, whether it's recycling, reducing the amount of energy we use, walked a few blocks to the store instead of drive, things like that. The old adage of thinking globally but acting locally still holds true today, and can make a big difference.
So you say
a lot of the features we've added to the polar bear area shows our guests, how do we do our research, how do scientists know what's going on, and what do we still need to find out, and what's moving forward, if you will.
But it's a series of everything, isn't it? I mean, it's not just humans. I mean, animals are causing their own demise too, right? I mean, I know humans, we eat beef and everything like that, but the big cow lots and everything, I understand some of the cow waste destroys the environment. Some of the air excreted from the cows causes problems in the atmosphere. So it's a series of things, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a combination of many different things. There's no doubt about it. And there's plenty of science to show what those items are and how they call it a feedback. Kind of like you do with audio and radio. You sometimes can get feedback if your speakers are too close to the mic. Well, there's also scientific proof that there's feedback where it kind of perpetuates itself. There's the water mist, there's the methane from the cows, there's the CO2 emissions, etc.
So it makes us aware of all this stuff over there. What's the website where we can check some stuff out, Rick, so our audience can go and see what they can do? Is there a site that you have up?
Certainly. Highly recommend everyone goes to sandiegozoo.org, because not only if you want to plan a trip to the zoo, it's a great resource for all things going on at the zoo, but down near the bottom there's a button for conservation.
Conservation at the bottom, sandiegozoo.org. Check it out. Thank you, Rick Schwartz. Straight ahead, Stephanie Honig going to tell us about Napa Valley. What's cooking today?
Are you struggling with too much credit card debt, sky-high interest rates, late fees, over-limit fees? Having trouble just making the money